Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're just going to be covering a brand new reveal of part of Transformers Tuesday. So we actually do have the Transformers 2 series of Voyager 98 Rise of the Beast Cheetor. So overall I think this figure looks pretty cool. Let's get into, of course, the more boring details. So release date is April 1st, 2023. I'm pretty sure that's the same release date as the previous. So like Bumblebee, Battle Trap should probably all be coming out around the same time with this figure. It's still available for pre-order. It's a Voyager class, so $35. As for the description, I always do read the description, especially with these figures, because sometimes there'll be some little details. Like with, I'm pretty sure it was Battletrap or Bumblebee, we found the transwarp key detail. In this description, there's really nothing, I would say, mind-boggling or new. It does say Cheetor and Maximals team up with the Autobots to protect the transwarp key. So this might be something very, very important because they're actually teaming up together to protect it. So it could be, again, I say this in a lot of the news videos, especially about Rise of the Beast. This detail could be very minuscule in the movie, or it could be very important. From what it sounds like to me, it seems like it's going to be a very important detail in the movie because they're teaming up to protect it. So we'll just have to wait and see and find out. But as for the rest of the description, again, nothing really crazy, no huge details or anything. It does say, of course, it comes with the removable backdrop scene, which is the Jungle Discovery, which I'm pretty sure was the same one as I think it was like Battle Trap or a previous figure. So you might be getting some of the same backdrops with several figures. But here we have Cheetor, and I think this figure is actually really, really cool. I do think this is definitely a major improvement over the Kingdom Cheetor. Some people really like the figure. I think it's okay. Of course, at the time, we had no idea we were going to get a Rise of the Beast movie. Of course, we did have some whispers and some rumors about it, but we had no idea what characters were going to be in there. We didn't know we were going to get a Cheetor toy. So at the time, I was like, okay, I'll get the the Kingdom Cheetor one. It's okay. This one is a major improvement just by pictures, of course, because the Kingdom Cheetor one had some breakage problems. His accessory wasn't that good. The cheetah mode was okay. So honestly, I think I'm very tempted to buy this one. But as of detail-wise, I actually do quite like this cheetah mode. One thing to note, which I've already found a little nitpick of mine, is unfortunately you can actually see his hands. So it does appear his front arms, it says his arms, of course, will actually become the front paws or front legs of the cheetah. You can actually see his hands there. Hopefully these are going to be end up covered, so sometimes with stock pictures they can be mistransformed. I actually do see some panels behind his legs here, so maybe these will end up moving down and covering some part of his hands. That would be nice, but overall, as it is, it doesn't look that bad. From certain angles, of course, it's quite obvious. From others, you really can't see it that much. As for the rest of the figure, one thing that's huge that was improved is the eyes. So a lot of people did not like this with the Kingdom Cheetor, is that his eyes were one solid color, so he looked kind of possessed. There was no iris. It looked really weird, kind of like the Legacy Evolution Leo Prime. It was one solid color, looked kind of weird. It was like yellow, so it looked like a possessed lion and a possessed cheetah. So this definitely fixed it. Yes, it is just one solid green color, but there is actually some inner detailing with the Kingdom and Evolution Leo Prime and Cheetor. There was no sculpting or anything. It was just one flat, smooth, piece of plastic or paint. So it looked really weird. There's actually some sculpted in detailing. There's some gunmetal gray, so it does make the figure look more alive. It definitely looks a lot better. That's just my opinion. But overall detailing looks pretty cool. You can actually see some ears, as we can see, of course, his mouth can't open. There's some teeth detailing, and again, the gunmetal gray and all the panels in the eyes, I think, looks pretty good. Definitely an improvement over the past Cheetor. And I really do like the shoulder detailing. There's actually quite a bit of mechanical detailing in there, and you can actually see there's, of course, quite a bit of black dot detailing, the typical, dots of the cheetah mode, which is pretty cool. I do like also these little like pistons and like hydraulics and pipes sticking out of the front here. That looks pretty cool. And again, we do have the hands there, which is a bit unfortunate. Hopefully, maybe this is just mistransformed, and it will be better in the end result. As for the back legs, they overall look pretty cool. Of course, you could assume these will be the robot mode legs in the other mode. But overall look pretty cool. I also do like how they're slightly angled and arched, which is pretty cool. And we do have the tail, another thing which is definitely improved. So with the Kingdom Cheetor, he did have an accessory which actually became the tail. And there's two things wrong with that. So since it became the tail, it was very stock. It really had no movement whatsoever. It was pretty much you plugged it in and that was it. Also, the accessory wasn't that good. It was supposed to be like a scythe thing, but since they sculpted the tail to be angled, the scythe was really weirdly angled whenever you holded it. There was two ways you could hold it, and both ways, for me, of course, in my opinion, it just didn't work. It looked like he stuck a blade inside of his tail. Looked really weird. Did not work in my opinion. Again, at the time, it was okay because that was the best Cheetor I could get. I didn't want to buy the Masterpiece one. I didn't have that kind of money, so I just went with the Deluxe. This, however, of course, the tail does not become the accessory and vice versa. The accessory does not become the tail, which I'm really glad. Hopefully there is better movement in this one. Because even when accessories don't become the tail, typically they don't have that great of movements. Like with the Legacy Evolution Leo Prime, there's just one little hinge. Hopefully maybe there's like a ball joint or something, or a hinge or something, so you can have some more expressive poses. This could just be my opinion. Some people don't care. I think, especially with animals, if you want to create a really cool running pose or battle pose, sometimes the tail really helps to add to the picture or stop motion or whatever you're doing. That's just my opinion. But moving on to another picture, we actually do have a side view here. You can, of course, put him into a really cool walking pose. This is another mention I have to say, especially from a side view, you can see the hands are right there. So that is a bit unfortunate, but overall, the side view looks very sleek, definitely very stealthy and cheetah-like. I think it looks pretty cool. Moving on to the robot mode, I actually really do like this. So I have to probably get my nitpicks in first, which is really only one, the head sculpt. So he does, just to me, he does appear to have a little bit of horns on the side. Maybe there's a better picture. Yeah, like right here, there's a little bit of horns, I think, sticking on the side there. I'm assuming that's what it's supposed to be. Of course, typically Cheetor's ears or little horns or crest, whatever you call it, are typically facing the front. They're a little bit more obvious. So I would have minded maybe the horns to be, or the ears to be a little bit bigger and maybe facing towards the front. That's just my opinion. They do seem a little bit too small to actually notice. Again, I could be wrong. Those could not be sculpted to be looking like ears. That could just be the design they went with. I really don't know. I'm just assuming they wanted to keep a few, attributes and details from the original design, like have some ears there. I don't know. I would just like them to be a little bit bigger. That's just my opinion. But going back to the some more, neutral position, I want to show all the details before I moved on to the other battle poses. But overall, besides the little ears, I think the head sculpt is okay. There's actually some really cool, like, metallic green in his eyes, and I do like the crest section. The mouth is kind of odd to me, so I think that's probably like a battle mask, or that could just be his actual face. We really don't know, because this character has been kind of like Optimus Primal in the trailer, where we've really seen a lot of you know, details and clips of their alt modes like the Cheetah and Gorilla, but we really haven't seen that much of Cheetor's and Optimus Primal's robot modes. So this could be just his battle mask. This could be his actual face. We really don't know. I think it's okay. I don't really like how it angles down. It looks like he's like frowning. That's just my opinion. But yeah, it's okay. I do like the Gunmo gray pieces on the sides, and again, everything else is pretty cool. Just the silver in the middle looks a little bit odd to me. That's just my opinion. I also really do like how there is a maximal symbol right on his chest, and I do like the gunmetal gray bits on like the neck region, the side of the stomach, and there's some silver near the middle stomach region. And the chest has some really cool black spots, which is pretty cool. And the shoulders overall look pretty cool, but he actually does seem like a very chunky, bulky figure, which is pretty cool to see. And I actually do like the claws. So this could be mistransformed again. Maybe you put these claws away more. Maybe there's an option to store them away. There is a kind of a panel here. Maybe you can flip these claws up and store them under. I do have to mention that because some people might not want them out all the time. Some people do. It does kind of give me a Wolverine vibe, sort of, and I think it's actually pretty cool. Now, moving down to the legs, overall pretty plain. I kind of wish maybe they had kept the dots more to the front of the legs, because this does seem quite bare compared to the rest of the ear. You can see, there's some kind of gray, there's silver, the dots, and then we just go to the bottom, and it's just kind of a sand brown. It seems kind of unfinished. So hopefully maybe this, again, is just unfinished, and maybe they'll add some more details. I don't know. But as it is, it does seem a little bit bare in my opinion. As for the rest of the figure, I am quite impressed. So as for his accessories, he does come with two really cool spear pieces. So you can actually store them or show them off two different ways. You can actually combine them, kind of like Revenge of the Fallen, Stew series The Fallen. You could have him dual wield those pieces, or you can form his typical staff. It's going to be kind of like that, which I think is pretty cool. I'll probably store, if I get this figure, I'll probably store them on him dual wielding, not combined. That's just my opinion. But overall, the weapon it looks pretty cool. There's some really cool silver for the blade. Everything else is done that kind of orange sand brown color. And you can store this, of course, combined or separated like this. And there's actually a third way, not in his hands, which I actually found. You can actually store them on his back. I don't think that's mentioned in the description, but if you can see in between his stomach and his arm, that space right there, hopefully you can see it where my cursor is, but right in the back there is actually the accessory back there, which I think is pretty cool. And if you're unsure, if you're like, oh, that's not it, just look, of course, these little ridges at the accessory right there, that top, you can see them on his back right there. So that's kind of nice. I'm assuming, of course, you can store both of them back there. He comes with two, and hopefully maybe there'll be some storage for the cheetah mode, because as the pictures on Hasbro Pulse, there is no picture showing storage for the alt mode, which I do always cut a little bit of slack, especially for figures with, sorry, I can't speak. I always do cut a little bit of slack with figures that come with like swords and shields, because it's typically pretty hard. It's pretty easy to store a little blaster or pistol or something like that, but he comes with two really big, swords or blades, so I do typically cut a little bit of slack. Also, of course, this isn't like a car or a jet or something. It's a cheetah, so if the storage is just so, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'll cut it a little bit of slack, but that is pretty much it for this news video. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on this figure in the comment section down below. Will you be picking it up? Do you think it's an improvement over the past Kingdom Cheetor, or do you think it's not as good? Let me know all that in the comment section down below, and I will see you next time.